Hi guys, happy Tuesday. It is 1 week until the new relaunch of the stick foundation. So I am going to show you another stick foundation tutorial this morning so that you can start using it yourself. If you want it and you don't want to be waiting for the website to go live, then you can send me a message and get color matched, and I'll add you to my pre-order list for the Younique Stick Cream Foundation. It's everything. Also, Jamie, I told you I would tell you when I had breakouts. It's that time of the month again, and you're always telling me that my skin is always perfect, so I'm here to show you that it's not. Hi, Linda. We're starting with Touch Glorious Primer, always a first step. And we're going to let it sit on our face for about 3 minutes before we do anything else. So primer goes on your face as a first step. The only thing that I have on my face this morning is I washed it and I put my day cream on. And then the primer goes on after that. So primer is going to protect your skin. It's going to make sure that none of the makeup seeps into your skin. Hi, Angela. And what it's going to do is create a perfect finish for your makeup to sit on so that it looks totally flawless. That's the purpose of primer. I used to think that primer was like a sales gimmick, and why would you spend money on something that you can't see? That used to be me, but I never go without Touch Glorious Primer now. And one of these lasts me, I don't know, easily 6 months, I would say. One of these, maybe even more. I think I've only bought like 2 in my whole time of doing this, and I've been doing Younique for 18 months. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit on our skin for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna go in. I'm using the shade Lace. That is pretty much a really good color match for me at this point, where I have no sun exposure and I'm super pasty pale. So it comes with a little cap on it. I don't think you have to keep the cap, but I do, just so I don't have an issue with it. And then you're just gonna sort of twist it up just like a lipstick. All right, so you don't need a lot. Where's my kabuki brush? You do want to get the kabuki brush when you get, these are both restocking on the same day, so a week from today. Foundation is essentially done. That's the only place that I'm going to put it, and then I'm going to blend it all in. So foundation stick, a little highlight reel on the foundation stick. It's full coverage. It's perfect for all skin types, but it's really going to be amazing for anyone with mature skin, dry skin, or combination skin. It has 2 different kinds of makeup wax in it, Cara Lily and Carnauba. And what that means is it's going to make your skin look really dewy and fresh. Just look at the difference. It's going to make your skin appear very dewy and fresh. It's going to blend out like a dream, and it is not going to clog your pores. If you have oily skin, you can absolutely still use it. We just want to make sure that we grab you a Touch Behold setting powder or a pressed foundation powder to add over the top to set it for the day so that it doesn't move under your oily skin. Okay, hi Anna. And always blend it down your neck. The kabuki brush makes application of this super duper easy. And if you already use the Younique products, is it water-based? I actually don't know the answer to that, but I can find out and let you know. I don't know that. Hi Jennifer. So it is full coverage. You do not have to worry about like not having enough coverage, because it's definitely extremely full coverage. If you already use our liquid foundation, you can grab the same shade because the shades transfer from liquid to cream. They're the exact same blend for color pigments. Okay. I'm sure that you can blend it in with a number of different mediums, but the, hi Carol, the kabuki brush, hi Carolyn, is the best in my opinion. It goes really, really fast, and it just blends in like a dream. And I always blend it down my neck just a little bit so you don't have that like weird, your face doesn't match your neck situation. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Touch Glorious Primer in the shade Scarlet. It is the lightest shade of concealer that Younique carries. and I'm pretty pale, so it's not really that big of a jump for me, but I just put a little bit, that's a little bit, right? Very little bit on the back of my hand, and then I go in with a Splurge cream shadow brush and apply it. You don't need a lot of this. You will see how easily it spreads out, how much pigment is in it. So you don't want a lot of it, only because it's going to get stuck in your fine lines. Your wrinkles, your pores, that kind of thing, especially in your under eye area where you have the thinnest skin on your body. You want to go very light on your makeup. That's why I use the Splurge cream brush. If I go in with my finger, I always just add way too much makeup. So I always use the Splurge brush, and you can see the definition is amazing. The color, the pigment is spectacular. Just going down my nose and on my chin. Women are more hormonal around your nose and your mouth, which means that you're going to be like pinker there, which is why I put concealer on it, just to neutralize it. It helps me to carve out my face shape the way that I want it to be. And look at that, I still have a little bit left over. That is the beauty of using a small detail brush. You can use a concealer brush, but I find that the smaller the brush, the less I put on. And that's kind of my goal when I do my makeup, is the less makeup the better. All right, so here I have an Ecotools sponge. I do think they carry these at CVS now, but I always get mine on Amazon or at Target. I just washed it, so it's really damp and squishy. And that is what I use to blend my concealer in, is a damp blending sponge. And you can see how it just melts right in. I always use a stippling motion. Don't drag it across your face. Just press it in, and you'll see that the line where your concealer starts and stops is just going to blur away. I'm going fast today because Dylan has a dentist appointment. So I've got to bring him to the dentist, and then we have to get Chase from school and bring him to the dentist. Ay, 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 mom life. Okay, so pressing, and it just kind of melts right in. So even though it's the lightest shade, and it's a High Terra, it's about 4 shades lighter than Lace foundation that I'm using, it still blends really easily. I'm convinced that if you just take the time to blend your makeup, you can make the darkest and the lightest. Hi Katie, make for a good makeup application, honestly, as long as you blend. You will be golden. Okay, so all blended in. That's the foundation and the concealer blended together. I'm going to go in now with Touch Behold setting powder. This is a translucent powder, so you don't have to be color matched to it. It can go over any skin type, any color. I'm just going to set my cream concealer with it so that it doesn't move anywhere. And I like to use a brush and tap the majority of the product off because, again, less is more for me. And I like to have a pretty soft coverage on my face. None of the makeup that I apply I ever feel during the day. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey. And also, I'm 34, so I have like the very beginning of like some fine lines happening here. I find that if I take a huge amount of this product with my sponge and pack it on here to bake my under eye, I will notice my fine lines. If I don't do that, I will not see them all day. You want very little product on your under eye so that it doesn't get caught in any creases that you have on your face. That's the trick. So whenever anyone tells me like, oh my God, your skin is flawless, I have definite imperfections. There are things that I have acne scarring, I have, you know, freckles, I have all of that kind of stuff. I have even regular scars from being like the world's foremost tomboy when I was a kid. But honestly, this makeup covers it like a dream. And if you just don't go crazy on over applying product, you're going to get that flawlessness. Okay, so we're all blended in now. And now I'm going to go in with bronzer, and this is in the shade Sunset. So this is one of the lightest shades of bronzer that we have. I kind of toggle back and forth, ironically, between the lightest, which is Sunset, and the darkest, which is Malibu. But today I'm kind of going for just a very simple look. I mean, we're planting the tomato plants today and we're going to the dentist. Like, I don't need to be that extra. So I'm just going to take, this is an e.l.f. brush that I got at Target, nothing special. And I'm just going to take and press that in right on my cheekbone from the corner of my ear down towards the corner of my mouth. And I always start at the back and softly pull it forward. I don't want to deposit the majority of the color on the front of my face because that's going to make the front of my face look chubbier. That is not what I'm looking to do here. We want to go in towards the back and create a nice cheekbone. And just blend it right up onto that bone there. You can totally see the difference when you contour your face, that you can see this hollow of my cheek way better on this side than you can on this side. And again, this is the lightest shade of concealer or bronzer that we carry. I do use Hermosa, which is the medium, and Malibu, which is the darkest. But today I just wanted like a very, very soft look. Alright, so now I'm going to do my forehead and just kind of sculpt in that face, making a nice shadow around the outside of my face so that the inside of my face brightness stays where, like, poppier, and then the inside of my face looks thinner and the outside of my face sort of gets pulled to the back. Far cheaper and less painful than a facelift. Jawline. Super important to get right under your chin. Follow that jawline all the way back to your ear, and it's going to suck in any double chin action that you have. And then another little trick, go down your neck, further down on the sides than you do in the center, and that's going to give you that same contouring that we did on our face where the inside is brighter, the outside is darker. It's going to make it recede so your neck looks thinner. Here comes Dylan singing Post Malone, Sunflower. It's like his jam. All right, I'm just going to go down the sides of my nose. All right, done, 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 done. Okay, good to go. Blush. Oh, we're going in with my favorite. I know you guys laugh when I bring this out. I laughed when I got it. I was like, huh, good luck wearing this one. I actually got my mom to buy it last week. Stunning. I'm obsessed. It's the best color for a bright, easy spring poppy cheek. I just touch it once, and there's way enough pigment on here to do my cheek. Super simple. Love it. That's what I love about these products the most. They are hyper pigmented, so you're not going to have to go and use a ton of product to achieve a perfect look on your face. You touch it once, and apply. And of course, if you want a more intense look, if you're going like 80s glam, you can go back in as many times as you want and add this to your face, but you don't need to. I personally like a very soft look, especially when I use a color that bright. Thank you. And then another little trick, this is the cheapest makeup trick you will ever find in life. You take a big super powder brush. This has nothing on it, and I always just use it to blend my contour and my blush together. It just kind of melts them together, so there's not this like, oh, there's pink, there's brown situation happening. It makes it very flawless, and like, it's free. It doesn't require any product. It just carries a big brush and you're out the door. All right, so let's see. Now we are gonna go in and do, let's do brows. Moodstruck Brow Obsession Palette in Brunette. I've had this, I know I say this in every video that I do. I've been using this palette since February of 2018. I use it every single day, and as you can see, there is still, I'm finally hitting pan a little bit in the pomade, but honestly, I still have probably a year to go on this palette. So getting 2 years or 2.5 years out of a $49 product just should give you an idea about how amazing these products are. I was actually telling somebody the other day, they said, you know, this is more expensive than the makeup that I use normally. And I said, this is actually when I was using Sephora products. I would go in and get like a Makeup Forever foundation and what did I use for concealer? I want to say Too Faced concealer and a couple of other things. And I would easily spend every 6 weeks, I would get a new foundation, a new concealer, and a new primer, because I was flying through these products because they didn't last and I had to use much more of them. And I was easily spending $200 every time I went. Every 6 weeks I would spend $200, and that was not blush, highlighter, mascara, eyeshadows, eyeliner, lip stuff, nothing. It was just on foundation, concealer, and primer. So just to give you an idea, I don't spend $200 on Younique maybe every 6 months, and that includes my skincare. So these products just last that much longer. You don't need as much of them, and they're going to finish a lot better. I also find that using one brand from start to finish on your face is going to give you the best blend because they're meant to go together. I was always being sold like, oh sure, yeah, if you want that, buy it. No one would ever tell me at Sephora, well, you're buying a cream highlighter but a powder foundation. You can't layer cream over powder. Nobody ever told me that. So I would come home and then I'd put it on and be like, why does this look terrible? And it was because I was just being sold. I wasn't being like educated. Are you just using powder? Are you debating? I'm just using the powder actually right now. I use the wax when I want like a very sharp brow line, but today I'm just using the powder. And occasionally I'll go back and forth, or I'll add a little bit of wax, but today it's just all powder. Now I have a little bit of concealer left over on the back of my hand right here, and I'm just going to take the flat side of the brush that I use to do my brows, which is called the Brow Artist brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and clean up that lower line so it looks perfect. I can't ever get my powder to look like that. Really, I would say the first 3 times is definitely like a learning curve, and after that you should be good. Obviously I could probably do my brows in my sleep at this point because I do them every single day, but I find that drawing the bottom line and then the top line, fading, starting at the arch, doing the arch to the tail, and then just use whatever you have left over on your brush to fade from the front to the back in. I use very little product to do my brows. But it shapes my face so well that I literally can't imagine going without it at this point. I've been using it for years. You'll get it. Do you do the top line and then the bottom line, or do you just start filling in? Because I found that when I was just filling in, like I was just attacking the brow, I would get sort of lost. Now that I do the top line and the bottom line, and I sort of have like a method to my madness, I don't screw it up nearly as much as I used to. Okay. Good to go, brows. I'm gonna totally punk out and just grab the Brow Obsession, or the Moodstruck palette number 1. Because I don't feel like digging through my eyeshadows to pick a look for today. So I'm going to just grab palette 1, which is usually my go-to. It's like the best collection of neutrals ever. And I'm going to grab Chipper, which is this medium brown kind of coffee color right here, on my Younique blending brush. And I'm just going to blend that right into the crease, filling in. And I meant to say I've been using Younique for a year. Are you a presenter? The biggest transition I found when I started using Younique products is how much product I didn't have to use. Like when I was using drugstore products especially, you like have to go back and forth and keep adding product in order to get coverage and color. And when I did that the first time with Younique, I looked like a clown because I was just putting way too much on. So readjusting how much makeup I actually needed to apply was my biggest learning curve. I was, but nobody wanted to buy. I'm sorry. You know, honestly, any MLM is difficult. I got into Younique and it was just because I liked the products and I was like, well, why not buy from myself? And if I am able to sell it, then that would be great. I'm going to go in with Forthright, which is this dark brown, and I'm just going to do my lower lash line. So I went in kind of without the expectation that I was going to do anything with it. I was just going to be able to purchase makeup and skincare for myself. And then I had people start asking me like, oh, I love your lipstick, or that's a great mascara and whatever. And I'm like, all right, let me dip my toe into what this is all about and see how this actually goes. So I kind of started to market it a little bit and people were receptive, but I never really put like the pressure on myself to like, all right, well, I'm going to hit this level by this date or whatever. There have been a couple of times where I was really, really close to a promotion and I wanted it really bad, but it's not easy. And I'm not the type of person who, I'm not aggressive in terms of this sort of thing. Like, I have a pretty aggressive personality in other ways, but not when it comes to like asking for sales or what have you, or messaging people. Like, you won't see me be one of the people that's like, hey girl, I have a lipstick that I want you to try. I just don't do that. It doesn't feel genuine to me and I can't get down with it. I'm going to go in with Elated, which is this sort of champagne color, and I'm just going to put it on my fingertip and blend it in the front of my eye. That's my problem. I push myself. You know, it happens. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. There have been times where I was really close to doing something and I put pressure on myself and then it didn't work out and I was like, you know, I was disappointed. But, you know, I find that now it feels a little bit more organic to me. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm like, I really do love it though. That's the one thing for me is, I like to talk to people about this. I have 2 little boys and a husband, so I don't get to do very much girl stuff. This was like my reality check girl thing for me. It was something to keep me accountable, and I really liked it. And I don't have very many hobbies anymore after being a mom and working full-time and everything. So this became like my hobby, essentially. And now I love it, and I want to build a business out of it and make it work and have people beneath me and mentor people and help people and all that kind of stuff. I just have tried to not let, I guess, the reality of it get in my way. I've been trying to just like stay on my own path. Okay, so Younique 4D Epic Mascara is everything if you haven't tried it yet. I have 10 more coming in. They should be here the second week of June. And I can ship one to you. It is the best mascara on planet Earth. It literally doubles my lashes. This is also the thing. It makes your lashes so long that I constantly hit my eyelid with it. So the trick is put your mirror beneath you and then you won't hit your lash or your eyelid with it. I do 2 coats. And what I like about this, we used to have a 3D mascara that you had to put fibers on. The fibers are already inside this mascara, so you don't have to have like 2 tubes of stuff going. It's all in this one. Coat number 2. What a difference mascara makes. Am I right? Everything. So it's got Y-shaped fibers in it, and what it does is it lengthens your lashes, and it also beefs them up right from the root, so you look like you have false lashes. It is solid gold. And I'm just going to take whatever I have left over on my wand and do my lower lashes. They are really, really fair and blonde and sparse, so I just add a little bit so you can tell I have some. All right, done. Now let's do, I'm just going to clean up my jawline and brighten it up a little bit. And for that, I'm going to go in with Touch Mineral Pressed Powder, and this is the shade Scarlet. So this is the same shade, but in a pressed powder that I used for my under eye. And I'm just going to go and tap that right on. My sponsor wasn't the greatest, and I'm more of a one-on-one person and wasn't getting the help or advice I feel like I needed, and I feel like that adds, it absolutely does. I will agree with you. My sponsor she's great, but if I need something, I have to ask for it. She doesn't like just check in with me all the time because she's got like 900 people on her team. But if I need something, she's very ready and willing to help me. But I have to ask for the help. And sometimes I don't like to ask for help. I feel like I should know how to do this or whatever. But this is the first time I've ever gone out on my own and done something. So, you know, I don't know, it's tough. I find that the hardest thing for me is growing a team. I have 2 people on my team right now, and they're wonderful. It would be, it's so funny because I'll see other people, and they literally will grow their team by like dozens of people every month. And I don't know how they do that. I don't like to talk, like, again, I don't like to talk anybody into anything. So if someone reaches out to me and they're like, I'd love to do what you do, I'm like, what tools do you need? How can I help you? What can we do? But I don't know. I just don't ask people, like, would you like to do this? I feel like if they wanted to, they would ask me. Let's do a little bit of highlighter in Benevolent. So this is like a golden frosty color, and I'm just going to apply this right to my brow, my cheekbone. And I like it because it gives my skin a little bit of glow, and it blends that contour or highlight into the blush really, really well. And down my nose and on my Cupid's bow. All right, so final step is lips. Now we all know I have a serious thing for lips, so I'm going to go in with Plush lip liner, which is this like faded mauve nude, and then I'm going to go in with our lip powder, and this is in the shade Contrite. I love our lip powder. I don't see a lot of people actually showing it anymore, but it's something that I still use pretty regularly because it stays on all day long. It's a great product. I love how pigmented it is. So first things first, I always line my lips. Even when I put Lip Bonbon on, which is our tinted moisturizer, I still line it. Okay. When you line your lips, it not only helps you create the perfect shape, but it helps your makeup stay on, like especially your lip product. It helps it stay in place because of that like wax barrier you're putting around it. It's amazing. Okay, so this is lip powder. It's literally a powder in here. And when I apply it to my lips, it's going to turn into like a liquid. Actually, I don't want to call it liquid, a cream. Hi, Rachel. Again, super underrated product are the lip powders. They wear amazingly. They blend like a dream. And so this is the shade Contrite. I'm going to add a little bit of Koi, which is this like orangey color. I'm going to add a little bit right to the center and kind of ombre it out. And it also makes your lips look big when they're brighter in the center. Done. You don't even have to like mush your lips together in order to make it stay. It's just perfect. I'm going to add a wee bit more bronzer because I use the lightest shade and I'm a bronzer addict. And then the last step is setting my makeup. So I'm going to go in with Touch Behold Setting Spray. And this is a product that is going to keep your makeup on all day long. So your face actually looks wet for, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. You can always speed the process up by doing one of these and just drying your face off. But what it does is it blends and melts all your makeup together so that it stays on all day. If you live in a hot area, a humid area, if you have oily skin, this dries to a matte finish and it just makes your makeup last all day long. When I go to work, I literally leave the house at 7 a.m. So I'm doing my makeup at 6:15 most of the time. And when I take my makeup off at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, it all comes off on the makeup wipe. It's not on my clothes. It didn't melt off during the day. Nothing. All right, there we go. What time we got? 11:55. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to take an after photo and I will list all the products that I used to achieve this look. And then we're going to the dentist. But if you guys have any questions, if you want to get color matched, if you want to get on the pre-order list for the stick foundation and the kabuki brush, just shoot me a message. I can color match you and then I can add you to my pre-order list, and then next Tuesday when the sale goes live, I will order it and ship it to you as soon as it gets to me. So easy peasy. If you have any questions about makeup, skincare, colors, products, what have you, just shoot me a message anytime. Like I said, I love to talk makeup. This is my happy place. But thank you guys for joining me today, and I will see you again on Saturday.